Hello, Elizabeth. You are the author. I am the alien. And this is Regeneration Who. So, the first thing we did was we saw a panel where we talked to Andrew Cartmel. He was the script editor for Doctor Who in Sylvester McCoy's era, and he was fixing a lot of the damage that had been done in the early 80s with the 5th and 6th Doctor, trying to bring in some more mystery and creating Ace, one of the greatest companions ever. Honestly, if it hadn't been killed prematurely, he might have been bringing us into a golden age of Doctor Who. It's pretty well known that your decisions to give the Doctor a bit more mystery and to put focus on the companion really influenced the new series. What would you say that the new series did best to reflect that, and what, if you had been running it, would you have changed? Like, what was its biggest issue?
Yes, I can answer that. Thank you for asking a question I can actually answer. I would say the clearest similarity is the way that Rose is almost like Survival Part 2. It just flows. I didn't realize at the time when I watched it, I enjoyed it, but in retrospect it became very clear that the themes of characterization and the approach and the mood all came like from Survival. It came from the urban reality, the kind of housing projects where people live and all that. So that sort of continuity was very strong, I felt. The one thing I would change, I'd get rid of that goddamn sonic screwdriver.
We are currently waiting in an incredibly long line to see a Skype conversation with Tom Baker, the 4th Doctor. Updates later. Is this how time normally passes? Very, very slowly and in the right order. It looks like the line is moving, so we're going to be seeing him any minute soon. I can't wait. So we got in, and is that? Oh my gosh!
Teddy bear. I wish it was.
That's tough.
Who is one of our guests of honor this weekend also. He asks, were you already watching Doctor Who before you were cast?
No, I wasn't really watching Doctor Who before I was cast, but looking back on it, I realized that I was playing Doctor Who years before I got the part. And I went down to Shepherd's Bush, which was about a few hundred yards away, dark now, late at night, and a man came up to me and he gave me a piece of paper, and he said, "Here." And so I took the piece of paper and I wrote "Best wishes, Tom Baker, Doctor Who." And he looked at it and he said, "What's this?" So I said, "It's an autograph." And he looked at me, he turned it over, he said, no, where is Uxbridge Road?"
Hi, Elizabeth. Now I shall exterminate you!
We just saw Tom Baker, and it was amazing. It took us a while to get out because we got interviewed by a couple of, like, a gaming news network, and we're probably going to be heading for the vendors until we go to do the Day of the Doctor photo shoot. So that will be fun. Just kind of follow me. Remembrance of the Daleks. Oh my gosh! It's Sylvester McCoy!
Hi!
So, this is my sister, if you guys don't know. And does she want to tell us why she's absolutely speechless?
Shook Sylvester McCoy's hand. I'm so confused. I'm never using my hand again. Not ever. Nope.
This is heavy. Then we did a Day of the Doctor photo shoot where I played the 11th Doctor in recreating that iconic last shot from the Day of the Doctor.
It's taken me so many years, so many lifetimes, but at last I know where I'm going. where I've always been going. Home. The long way round.
And we'll be getting the pictures within a couple weeks. I'll let you know in the next vlog that I have it. I also was able to get a couple of pictures with some lovely cosplayers who were dressing up as some of my favorite companions. We just saw a really great panel with the 7th and 6th Doctors, and we're about to see a tribute to my favorite classic daughter, Patrick Troughton, with the actress of Victoria.
And of course, it's me.
I did bring along a little guest star.
Oh, wow. I have a Dalek with Patrick Troughton. We had a big do on the Thames where I actually met Patrick and Fraser. And he took one look at me and said, "Welcome to the family." And I went, "Thank you." And Fraser went, "You're all right, aren't you?" "You're a bit of all right." I said, "Hands off." But yes, that's how I first met Pat. This, that and the other about wars here, then about it. All of a sudden they said, yes, a Doctor Who has died. And I'm driving, I'm thinking, I know it's going to be Pat. So I had to wait about 20 minutes. And of course it came on. It said, Patrick Troughton, the Doctor Who, has died today. And I just thought I couldn't say anything. So I pulled into a lay-by. And I sat there for over half an hour, getting myself together. Because all the memories came back to me very quickly about Pat. So yes, that's how I heard of his demise.
So many of the wonderful, wonderful stories are lost, and even though we found, thankfully, a couple of them, what's your favorite one that's still missing?
Theory from the Deep. I love that one. That was my last storyline. And I'm sure you know about this. It was the seaweed monster who came out of the sea and went down the pipes into the land and terrorized everybody. I love the monster because the first 4 episodes you didn't actually see it, but you knew it was there. And it tracked me down, I tell you. Because there was a heartbeat. And as it got closer to you, it got louder, and louder, and louder, and louder. And I thought that was funny, if only they could actually find that. But I was quite proud of that, because I defeated it. It was from my scream. And it retreated back into the sea, and that was it. As I say, that's why I was called Lebanon.
Quickly, Deborah, what about the Daleks?
The Daleks? Yes, well, I must admit, they weren't my favourite monsters. They were meant to be very, very frightening, but I used to get to know the men inside them.
Yeah.
And they were ever so nice. But of course, if you're out there on the screen, you have to be absolutely terrified, because if you're not terrified, you won't convince your audience, will you? At all. So, Fraser and I were rather naughty, actually. Lunchtimes in the studio, BBC. Everyone used to clear the set. And Fraser and I used to get into the Daleks. And we had races around the studio. If we were caught, I tell you, I think we'd have been sad.
Then we got to see the amazing Sophie Aldred Ace and Sylvester McCoy, the 7th Doctor.
The first Doctor I really remember is John Pertwee, and I fell in love with Jo Grant, with Katie Manning. I just thought she was very cute, and I kind of wanted to look after her. I mean, I must have been all of 7 or 8, I suppose. And then Sarah Jane Smith, of course. This lady. I know this is crazy because the Doctor's not in it very much, but I love Blink. More recently, I love the Mummy on the Train.
Yes.
Fantastic. I enjoy all of them, though. Some people say, you know, oh, that was a terrible episode of Doctor Who last night, and I'm completely like, oh, but I just love it all.
I always kind of wondered how the Daleks became so frightening. A couple of pepper pots walking down the road. I was doing a signing in a shop, and it was a children's department, toys and things, and there was a little queue of children, and they were asking my autograph, and it was all very sweet. And then I suddenly saw this girl, and she was terrified. I mean, pure, utter, complete, horrifying terror. And I thought, what's going on? I looked behind me, and a Dalek had just walked past. And I thought, oh. And so I stood up, and I said to her, don't worry, I'm the Doctor. You're safe with me. Yeah, the thing about the TARDIS and the BBC is that when we were filming on location, they didn't really bring too many portaloos. And, you know, a lot of the technicians, you know, desperate for a pee, would go use the TARDIS. It's horrible.
The interior TARDIS set we used in Dragonfire, but of course, it was fantastically disappointing because it was really just...
It wasn't bigger on the inside.
2 bits of, yeah. It was 2 flats, as we call them.
It was a console and a little bit of background, wasn't it?
It was still quite thrilling to be inside the TARDIS. We didn't have many interior TARDIS.
No, well, I deliberately steered clear of them in the script because I thought they were kind of a dead zone as far as the story was concerned. Nothing very dramatic could happen in the TARDIS, I felt. I felt we should use the TARDIS as a setup and get out of there as quickly as possible. But I do remember, while we were at the BBC, there had been this sort of mahogany console that they'd done this sort of wood TARDIS interior for the Tom Baker Doctor, and it was this amazing thing of beauty.
Magic?
I know. There's no such thing as magic.
Exactly. To the rational mind, nothing is inexplicable.
And they just left this wooden TARDIS interior outside in the rain, and it just warped, so that the BBC had never really cared much about the TARDIS interior.
What's your favorite Ace pin?
Oh, it's got to be my Blue Peter badges.
I like the Baker Street Irregulars.
Which one?
The one with the magnifying glass on it.
Oh, yeah.
I like the name on the back. Ace! But that way I never had to learn that line.
Hello, Elizabeth. It is the beginning of the final day of Regeneration Who. And I'm currently one of the only people awake. So I'm just kind of exploring the halls, getting to look at everything on my own. Look at this. This is a pretty cool looking Dalek right here. You know, it's okay. I mean, it's a little dumpy, but I couldn't make anything this good. But even better, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look. Oh my gosh, it's the Special Weapons Dalek from Remembrance of the Daleks. Let me show you this. Look at this. The guy who built it showed me how he could go inside and could control it around, and Sylvester McCoy was pointing out and saying, we didn't have anything that good when we filmed Remembrance of the Daleks. I mean, look at it. It looks like a tank. It looks like something that you do not want to mess with, and I absolutely love it. So I'm here alone, and I'm noticing one very odd thing about the venue that I've kind of been noticing all weekend. Horse. Next was a panel with Deborah Watling, where she talked about the many missing episodes of the classic series. Shortly after the missing episodes panel, I went to buy my first ever Big Finish CD, which is one of the companion chronicles with the Second Doctor, Jamie, and Victoria. So, we just got out of the vending area. Whoop.
Don't fall.
And I got a couple buttons. One that says, don't panic, and the other one that says, not allowed, me, I'm allowed everywhere, from the Second Doctor. And I got this, an action figure of the 11th Doctor from Season 5, which I've looked for these online. They're like $70 on Amazon. So I got it for $25, which is an awesome deal. Now it's just Sylvester. He's currently talking about the public reactions to some of the very large explosions from the Remembrance of the Daleks.
What happened was a huge explosion and smoke everywhere, car alarms went off, windows were cracked. It was on the radio, the IRA had blown up Waterloo Station. And the ambulances, the fire engine, the police arrived, and they're coming down this road just like this, and the archway is there, and I'm standing here, and this kind of, I see this ambulance drive up and screech the halt, and his chin dropped to his chest, because out of the smoke came 3 Daleks. They gave me running us the brown! And then we were able to come out of the road. Especially the first film, it was just a joy. And then they gave me this stuffed hedgehog. And I was, improvised stuff. And Peter said, do this, and I did that, and then we improvised, and we created the scene all day long. It was exhausting, but at the same time, I knew, I thought, I am going to be on a giant screen in a huge cinema and 3D. No other actor around, just me. This is glorious, my God.
And then we got to speak with Colin Baker, who played the 6th Doctor.
You are one of my favorite and definitely one of the most underrated. You are amazing. One of my favorite of the Great Doctor speeches is you in Trial of the Time Lord, when you're talking about how the Time Lords were the greatest evil just sitting out and watching.
In my travellings throughout the universe, I have battled against evil, against power-mad conspirators. I should have stayed here. The oldest civilization. Decadent, degenerate, and rotten to the core. Power-mad conspirators, Daleks, Sontarans, Cybermen. They're still in the nursery compared to us.
It felt like you really put yourself into that. And I was wondering, through Big Finish or the television, is there a certain moment of performing that you really put yourself into, and when you were at the end of the day, you were like, yeah, I knocked that out of the park. Like anything that you're really proud of?
You'll never get an actor who will say, I knocked that out of the park. But every now and then, you get thrown a ball that you can, unless you're totally incompetent, you're going to hit rather well. It's all about good writing, is what I'm talking about. I enjoyed doing The Wrong Doctor, because it was me talking to me. It was my kind of 1980s TV doctor meeting what you might call evolved 60 of the current Big Finish Doctor. And the script was brilliantly written. Because I thought, is there a difference? I hope there is. And I recorded it, and I listened to it, and I could hear the difference. I felt quite proud of that. I tried not to be too kind of self-congratulatory, because down that path I was ruining. I come back to the same point though, the writing. The writers are the ones, we just interpret what they write. The true creativity is in the writing.
Thank you, and I'm so glad that with Big Finish you've been able to get some amazing writing. And you can go find the wrong doctor.
Thank you.
As fun as this has been, unfortunately, everything must end sometime. And it is time for me to leave. Elizabeth, I will see you on Friday. Goodbye. Click on this to subscribe, and here to see last week's video.